Good afternoon, everybody. It is Saturday afternoon. I have been off work for almost 2 hours. Um, I'm going to talk about my day and what's happened in the last 2 days or day and a half, however you want to put it. Um, I want to go backwards in time. About middle of January, I'm going to say, at least that far back. I was working one day and it was kind of getting busy and crazy and whatnot. And by the time it started settling down, there was a pretty good hefty amount of dishes to be done. And I decided that I wanted a break from doing the block, which is basically where I cut meats and weigh out meats and make the meat part of your meal at Dickie's. And so I went in the back to do dishes because I said, look, if somebody's willing to cover the block for me, I'm gonna go do those dishes so nobody has to worry about it. Nobody objected, of course. So I went back there to start doing dishes, and my first Mjolnir, which is basically the hammer of Thor, came out of my shirt and then got caught on the underside of the sink. The lip basically is just a piece of metal that curves down so nobody gets hurt. It swung up and got caught on there, and I stood up real fast, and there goes my chain. It broke. Well, I was kind of displeased and very disheartened by the whole incident because that was my fault. And I wasn't paying attention because I wanted to hurry up and get those dishes done because by the time I got the dishes done, it was time for me to go home. And I told Jerry Ann about it, and Jerry goes, well, I could try to fix it. And I said, well, how about this? You weren't really particularly fond of that particular necklace because to you, it looked like an upside down cross. Even though I didn't see it, but I guess from a distance and with her eyesight and whatnot, that's what she thought it looked like. So I said, okay, as soon as we get money, can I possibly, if we can find one that's less than $10, get me a new amulet? And she went, yeah, sure, okay, no problem. Well, what I did not know when we finally got money, she had enough money on her card, I had enough money on my card for Amazon, and we both looked separately for a new Mjolnir. For a decent price, and I found one for $7, 8 something or other with shipping costs on a Prime item. Now, with a Prime item, it's either you don't pay shipping or you don't pay tax. I can't remember. So I went ahead and got mine. It's now on my neck. It looks more like a hammer. Which basically mirrors Thor's hammer. Well, she found one too that looked almost like my old one, but it had some extra features that made it look more like an anchor with the face of Odin on it. And she showed it to me and ordered it after this was already shipping because I was like, well, we can take the one I ordered and basically return it. And she goes, no, go ahead and keep the one you ordered. But we're going to have, since she ordered the one that she wanted from me. And I was like, well, when yours comes in, we can look at the two, and well, I can either put this one in the bag that it came with, which is basically this nice little leather drawstring type bag, and I'll wear the one she got me because I feel like, okay, she understands what I'm doing. She understands that I'm not becoming a Norse pagan. She understands I'm doing that. I'm wearing it because it's like a symbol of my ancestors, but I'm not going in that direction. What I'm doing is for cultural and historical study value, not religion. So I was like, I'm very happy with the fact that she's allowing me the necklace and allowing me to do what I want without a lot of hubbubaloo. Now, I've had a lot of different people, both friends, family, and viewers, ask me why I haven't, or not really asked me, but basically suggested that maybe you should do more Bible study to help you with your issues. And I don't agree, yet I don't disagree. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I think for various different purposes other than factor of my issues that I should go ahead and go back to reading the Bible. The thing is, here's my problem. It's not that I don't want to, because that's not the case. That is nowhere near the case. My problem is, if I read something multiple times and I have had multiple notebooks, which unfortunately a lot of my old notebooks got lost from Hurricane Sandy. I had, well, let's just put it this way. If you were to take that bookshelf, slice it down the middle, and separate it, half of what I can fit on the bookcase right now is probably about the number of notebooks I had from dating back as far as 97 when I went to Ozark Christian College. So it's kind of like, do I take all the Bibles that survived the hurricane, which is like 2, maybe 3 different Bibles that I've had over the last couple of years, and try to go through each and every one of those and write down book, chapter, and verse, and read those chapter verses and start my note-taking process all over again? Or do I just sit back and take one Bible and read all the chapter and verses that are marked in that Bible, even though about 55 to 57 of those chapter and verses that are marked are from my cousin Michelle? I could probably have, if I were to sit down every single one of the Bible, the chapter verse book, chapter verse in a notebook, it'd probably take up the notebook. Just writing down, not the verse, not my notes, just the let me see here. I've already got one journal started that has the verses from Michelle, but just open this up and flip. How much of this did I highlight? The whole Genesis 2:4 through 25, which is about Adam and Eve. I had that written down, and then underneath what I wrote down, basically underneath writing that information about Adam and Eve, I basically put my notes in there. My notes were mostly like my opinion or my thoughts. And then, of course, there's like, and each highlighted color has a different meaning behind it. If I could find that package that the highlighters came in, it basically, one is about truth, the other one's about life, the other one's about change, and then I forgot what the fourth one was. Truth, life, was it truth, life, love, and change? Or something along that line. Like I said, I don't remember, but like, I've got highlighted in blue Genesis 3:17 to 19. I can go through and start like literally finding all that highlighted section and writing it down, and then putting my notes or redoing, like start all over, basically start fresh. Because I might have new opinions or whatnot. But that means I'd be skipping all over the Bible itself because of my highlighted notes and whatnot. Or see, my problem is, and that's one of the reasons why I don't reread a lot of the old books that I have, like the old Mary Summer Rain books from high school, college, or anything like that, because 9 times out of 10, once I read it, trying to reread it is like, oh, I remember this, or oh, yeah, I remember that. Very few times do I reread something and go, oh, I don't remember that from the first time. But I started using this notebook when I was doing Michelle's notes and whatnot. I still got like plenty of space to use in here. That's all the free space. So I could do that. Actually, I might do that. I might just pull it out and put it off to the side. Of course, as I was cleaning up this room and whatnot, I found... Well, this is a poem that I wrote. I don't even remember when I wrote it because I didn't date it. But I'd say I probably wrote it within the last 10 years. And this one is entitled Trouble. I'm not even going to read it right now. And then I wrote this one probably about the same time, because I started, I don't know, my brain kind of goes, bing, and I start writing poems. This is another one. And I did not title this one, I just wrote it. Oh, this one I must have been going through some point in my life or something like that where I was having issues about life in general. And both of them are about life in general. But yeah. This one I probably wrote about 15 years ago. I was going through a dark stage of my life. I don't know why, because I was married and whatnot. But I think what it was is because I was having some deep issues. And I might have read this one once before on here, but I'm going to read this one again because it probably goes along with that first one, but 2 different times, 2 different poems, almost identical in character, I guess you'd say. But this one, well, I'm just going to read it. Oh, to be hated and hate those whom hate. Why does the world hate those whom love? Why does God love even the biggest hater? What should I be, a hater or a lover? The world or God? Oh, what twisted fate does this life lead? When I was young, I knew not the twisted life I'd live. Yet as an old man, I'd be pained by the twisted web known as life. Oh, how I hate to hate, oh, how I love to love. What more must I endure to regain my youthful happiness, my joy of life, my love? Now, I'm no Shakespeare or no poet, but like I said, every so often, something in me just kind of goes, write it. And I did. But my life now, oh yeah, there are moments where I look at that poem and go, yeah, how I would love to be the youthful person I once was. But we get older, we have responsibilities, we have things that we have to do. There's very little to no choice in doing them, unless I want to choose to live like a pauper. Pauper, yeah, whatever. But the last couple days have been kind of in and out. Like yesterday was supposed to be one of my days off. I got a call to come in because somebody wasn't feeling good. And let's just say I wasn't really thrilled with having to be at work. I know I could have said no, but I heard about what happened before they called me. And let's just say because of certain decisions made by people higher up in the chain of command, decided that when we set up the new system, they had to have two managers on the system besides the owner. Because there's supposed to be at least two people who are in control of the computer system to make certain decisions that only a manager is supposed to make. So they made one of my coworkers, who's got plenty of experience in management as a manager. Well, two people got upset about it. One person got so uptight and upset about it that they returned their door key to the store. So that person can no longer open by himself. He has to have a manager come in to unlock the door, which is kind of like, really, are you that foolhardy? Basically, he got his panties in a twist. And well, the person who called me because she was sick, Lisa, who's put it into the position of management, called me and said, "Can you come in and cover from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.?" So basically, she was there to open the store, but she didn't. She had a 11:30 appointment because she hurt her shoulder and was not feeling so great, and she shouldn't have opened. She should have had somebody else open the store. Well, I came in and I found out why somebody else couldn't do it, because she didn't want to call me on my day off, and she told me a story about this guy, and I just kind of went, "Are you kidding me?" So, because he's so upset that she became a manager when he felt he should have been the one to become a manager, but Debbie decided otherwise, he got his panties in a twist. All I can say about that is grow the frick up. I know there's a lot of things that I get mad about that people tell me the same thing, grow the frick up. But when it comes to work type situations, I'm kind of like, I don't care who the manager is, because obviously the owner or the GM or whomever that's higher up had made a decision, not only because it was originally known to most of us that Debbie wanted Lisa to become the GM, but Debbie's quote unquote silent partner made a decision without clarifying with Debbie first and foremost. So that got everybody upset, because like, really, you're hiring somebody who doesn't know the store to be the GM. Well, yeah, I was mad for a couple of days, but I shrugged my shoulders and went, okay, whatever. I still have a job. I don't care. But to get so twisted by Debbie's decisions that you're going to return your store key, making it where you can't open ever. Okay, whatever. And there's a couple different decisions that's going on around the store that's I'm not part of, that I'm not happy with, but I'm like, you know what? I've already voiced my opinion about the rehire of somebody who got fired, because she's been calling out too many times, and Debbie gave her an ultimatum: call out one more time and lose your job, or just do your job. Well, she called out, she lost her job. Here we are, at least 3 weeks later. This person's coming in to work Tuesday, and I lost my Tuesday, which I wasn't happy about, but at the same time, I was like, okay, that's fine. Because I basically kind of let her know, kind of said something about, all right, well, if you're going to rehire, if this person's going to be hired, don't ask me to work with her. I won't. There's a reason why I wanted her to get fired. There's a lot of different reasons why I was happy she got fired. Yeah, I know it's a shitty attitude, but when you're that much of a shitty employee and you're basically causing other people to be called in to, not only are you causing the manager to have to rush at the last minute to find somebody to come in to work for the person who called out, the fact that you do this on a regular basis, but to do it 2 days in a row to the point where you're only working one day. I'm sorry, as somebody who could be a GM or a manager, why would I want to keep somebody like that? Why would anybody want to keep somebody like that? You know what your schedule is a week in advance, and you should, be mindful of that so you don't overdo it and party so hard that you don't wake up the next morning and we have to call you and find out, oh, you're not coming in because you didn't get enough sleep last night. I don't know how many times I could have pulled that one in the last decade. And not because of the fact that I partied too hard, but because there was a point in time where I had 2 jobs and I was lucky to get maybe 4 to 6 hours of sleep in one day. And I don't mean 6 hours straight. I mean 2.5 to 3 hours here and then 2.5 to 3 hours there. Yeah. You want to talk about coming to work tired and dragging your butt because of the fact that you're working yourself too hard? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I can see where that happens, but the thing is I was responsible enough to realize, hey, look, I signed on the dotted line to do a job and to do the schedule they gave me, so I have to do it. Luckily, oh, yes, another piece of information. I have a second job. It is a job with DoorDash. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with DoorDash, it's simple. You go on a website, whether it's DoorDash or a company that's connected to DoorDash, like my store, Dickies. We do we do deliveries through DoorDash. So you can go on to our website, the store website, company website, however you want to put it, and make a order to be delivered. And once you make that order, the order gets kicked over to DoorDash. So a DoorDasher using their phone gets alerted to, oh, I have a pickup for Dickies at such and such a time. Do I want to do it? Click on it to say yes. When you go you come to us, Dickies. You say, hey, I have a DoorDash to be picked up at this time for Jane Doe. Okay, sure, no problem. There's your order. We made it for you. Everything's in the bag. This drink goes with it if it comes with a drink. And the DoorDasher takes it, hits the button to confirm that they picked it up. The DoorDash system goes over to your map, whether you use MapQuest, Apple Map, Google Map, whatever it is. There's like 3 different mapping apps that you can use that they recognize. It takes you to that app and it tells you how to get to this person's location so you can take the order to them. Boom. Now, the way DoorDash operates is basically you go onto their app and let's say there's open availability for a certain time slot. You want to work that time slot. You click on it so you schedule yourself for that time. Now, here in Rolla, unfortunately, we're kind of small and we got a lot more DoorDashers than we probably need. But I've noticed that certain times of the day, up until midnight, they get busy. And you can basically click on it. It will take you to it will basically say, do you want to schedule yourself? But you hit schedule and you're automatically in the system as a working DoorDasher. And you start getting messages about orders to be picked up. Now, some DoorDashers refuse to do orders that are less than $5 because that means the tip is very little to nothing. Now, since I have not done a DoorDash yet, and I'm hoping to do some either later tonight or tomorrow night, I don't know how much I get paid by the hour, but from what I read, it does 3 different things to equal your actual income: tip, distance, and order size. So depending on the order size, the distance you drive, and the tip, and there's like a 4th one I can't remember off the top of my head, I don't know if it's hourly or not, but their algorithm or their website tells you basically how it's done once you become a dasher. So I was kind of like, okay, yay. I'm now a door dasher, and it's a combination of per diem and whatever schedule you picked. Unfortunately, you have to go on there and look in advance to pick your schedule, because especially right here in Rolla, it's kind of hard to get an actual schedule. Now, I was looking at the app, and it gave me when I first started, it gave me a whole bunch of cities and towns that I can go work in. So let's say I want to spend the weekend working in St. Louis, because St. Louis is a very big, very, busy town. In St. Louis, or big cities like St. Louis, where they are really, 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 really busy on certain peak hours, they give a peak incentive. So let's say I want to work in Fenton, which is a suburb of St. Louis, between, let's say, 3:30, 4 o'clock to 7:30, 8 o'clock, which is their peak hours. I can get an extra $2 per delivery. And I'm like, that's cool. I can basically go out there, spend the day in St. Louis, work part of the day, and then the other part of the day spend time with my aunt or whatever. Maybe spend the night at my aunt's, and then the next morning, like if I go out there Saturday, the next morning, the next day, during lunch rush, pick up some more, money doing that. Because I knew of a guy, I haven't seen him in a while. Hopefully he stopped doing Raw, because it's not enough money for him. But he used to talk about how during the weekends, he would go into St. Louis, work St. Louis for DoorDash, and come back here to Rolla. I haven't seen him in a while, so I don't know if he's done, or he doesn't want to come to Rolla because there's not enough for him in Rolla. Don't know. But yeah, it's great because Jerry Ann and I can both work on DoorDash. Unfortunately, we're not going to earn double, because it doesn't work that way. But I know a lot of couples who, on their free time, basically, they work together. One of them drives, the other one picks up. So that would be, between me and Jerry. If she felt like going with me, she'd be the driver, I'd be the pickup. But on days that she doesn't want to work, I'll do it all by myself, because I can follow the GPS. But anyhow, that's basically that's kind of like the last 36 hours boiled down. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the comment box. If you're new to my channel and choose to join, you can click on the subscribe button and hit the subscribe button. The little bell will pop up. Click on the bell, and YouTube will let you know when I put in a new video. I am rushing myself, and I don't know why. Anyhow, have a good day. God bless. Bye.